Hey, candidate. Sorry about
There we
that.
go.
If elected, you'll be one of the decision makers for the city's budget, about $112 million every year. What programs, services should the city spend more on? What should it spend less on? And purpose for the city in the post-pandemic world?
And for this round, we're going to start with Jonathan. Go ahead, you have 1 minute.
Well, yeah, thank you. So, we got a lot of money we can spend, and one of the things that I see that we spend a lot on is transportation and whatnot. So, let's just say I have ideas on how we can better deal with policing in our community. One of them is creating a regional police force that deals with out of town calls and one that deals with in town calls. So that way our units aren't being stretched thin. And one of the other most and more important things is making sure that we put money into the right stuff. For example, social programs, youth centers, things like that are inclusive, and just making sure that everybody in Fort St. John gets to benefit from this money because, it's all great when we're, I guess we're out of time.
Thank you, Jonathan. Sarah, it's your turn. Did you catch the whole question at the beginning? Do you need it repeated?
Would appreciate a repeat.
All right. Matt, are you available to repeat that? Oh, sorry. I can repeat it for you if Matt's not available. There we go. Matt's on.
Yeah, no worries. So the city's budget's about $112 million a year. What programs should it spend more on? What should it spend less on? What are the priorities for you in 2022, this post-pandemic world?
All right, Sarah, 1 minute.
Thank you. I think we need to spend money on areas that will rebuild our community, whether that's from an economic standpoint or a social standpoint, and things that will have the biggest ripple effect within our community. For example, if we are going to spend money on helping places like Northern Health recruit and retain employees, that is going to have a ripple effect of helping with the health care of our community, helping with the mental health crisis that we're currently undertaking, and such. Things that we can spend less on, we always need to look at the excess in our budget. What areas are we overspending on? For example, are we spending too much on wages, or are we spending too much on events that we could cut back on? There are always things to cut and trim budgets on, which I have a lot of experience on with the board at Totem Preschool, and working within a tight budget. But ultimately, getting the biggest bang for your buck is important.
Thank you, Sarah. Tristan, if you could follow.
For sure. So the programs that I think require more support are the programs that are quite dear to me, and these are the social issues. I think that programs such as for survivors of domestic and sexual violence are insufficient in Fort St. John, and I would wish to engage and provide as much support as I can. The RCMP report of 2020 made it clear that there are vulnerable women in our community, and more so now than last, that require our support. I would also seek to engage with various anti-racism programs, whether that's through Resilience BC's anti-racism network or other such programs based around education and awareness. Our community requires healing, and I think that providing support to our most vulnerable and uniting around them is what is most important.
Thank you very much, Tristan. And Jim, your turn.
Yes. Well, over the years, Fort St. John has spent a lot of money on their infrastructure, but we still have areas in town, in my opinion, that have bad cracks, uneven roads and sidewalks that are not safe for seniors to walk on, in my opinion. We could use a good paved parking lot downtown. So if we're talking about what we'd like them to spend more money on, is fix up the infrastructure a little more with pavement and sidewalks. And also what we can spend less on, parking meters. Do we really need parking meters when we're really trying to kickstart the downtown core back to life? I think not, in my opinion. there must be a better way to recoup the lost revenue from those parking meters if we remove them. So yeah, infrastructure repairs, and we can spend less on parking meters downtown.
Thanks very much, Jim. And we'll wrap up this round with Thomas.
Thank you so much. This is a near and dear one to my heart because it does two things. One, it goes back to what I said at the start. As a city, we need to start learning how to do more with less. We need to cut red tape on businesses. We need to make sure that they can get the quickest possible answers for setting stuff up, for getting permits, for moving through that yes point to getting to where they need to be for their organizations. We also need to empower our non-for-profit programs. Our non-for-profits are struggling to get money right now. We need to empower them to take on projects, whether that's within the city or around the city. I think that it's a great opportunity for us to shave off some extras on the city and move them over to a non-for-profit organization. Other one that I would love to see is a little bit of a better plan on how we remove snow. I know there was 2 days of snow here and they got out and they took it on, and I'd like to see a little bit more reflection on that to save a little bit of money for us.
Thank you so
Or do
much.
it.